Del Cleveland, Adidas enthusiast from West London, Brentford supporter, age 58.
Alright, so Del, like, do you consider yourself a collector?
No, I hate that word. I think if you going all around different countries, going in little places looking for different, I don't know, little gems here, there and everywhere, then I think then you're a collector. Or you're sitting up all night looking on eBay, then you're a collector. For me, I'm an enthusiast. That's the way I see it. Collector is, in my brain, is someone who collects stamps, or do you know what I mean? And you've got thousands and thousands of pairs. I haven't, you know, so that's my view of, I'm more of an Adidas enthusiast, and I like clothing, do you know what I mean, as well. Not only Adidas, I like all sorts of clothing, really, do you know what I mean? But I think, for me, I sort of morph skinhead, mod and casual clothes all together. I'm not one, but mod is a class of everything anyway. Everyone thinks mod is a Parker with a scooter. It was, and it is to a certain degree, but this day and age, I mean 40 years ago, you wouldn't have mod, skinheads and casuals in the same probably room, because it'd kick right off. But now, it's all one, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? You go in any of the shops, you go in Mod Father, Stewart's, 80s casuals. You go in and they've got mod clothes, they've got skinhead clothes, and they've got casual clothes. So that tells me that everything's morphed now, do you know what I mean? So, answer your question, I'm an enthusiast.
And so, leaning on that, I guess I mean, I know how important clothes is, but how important is clothes for you? And when you were growing up, like, how important was it to sort of kind of find your tribe and sort of, you know, and then sort of exploring the clothes and the fashion that came with that? Like, what was that like? Like, you know, coming up and then up to now, where we still keep that same, you know, we still look for a jean with a certain type of press, for example. Yeah,
I mean, for me, as I said earlier, right up until I was probably about 12, you just wore what everyone else was. I can't really think what I wore. I mean, I know that if fashion, if that's what you want to call it, everyone on the estate I come from in Hounslow was army greens, black Harrington jackets, probably Adidas kick or some sort of Ruckanor or Converse boot. It was called Ruckanor, if I remember. So that was it then. And then, as I say, not only me, I'm not talking for me like I'm any different to anybody else I grew up with. We all went down the same path. We all sort of like went down the skinhead route. There's a few mods I knew that went down the new romantic route, but mainly you didn't really wear trainers. I didn't until properly. I had a pair of kick, as I said, but I didn't really wear trainers until I left school. It was mainly Dr. Martens, Dr. Martens shoes, boots, tassels, brogues. That was the thing to wear. But as for clothing, so obviously when you're a skinhead, for me, you had all that sort of tribal clothing that went with the skinhead, do you know what I mean? With your Crombie, your tonic suits, your stay press, do you know, your Ben Shermans, your Fred Perrys. And then when I left school, it was only a short amount of time, everyone seemed to wear tracksuits. You know, whether that be Feeder, Adidas, Sergio, or whatever on the cost. And then you sort of smartened up. And they say about this north, did it start in the north, did it start in the south? You probably never know, do you know what I mean? For me, I think it started in the south, because I'm a southerner, do you know, and through football and all the rest of it. So I support Brentford, so we did used to go to a lot of football, and you do see how other people dress. I'm not saying you wanted to dress like them, but you might see a few older people, and you didn't have that sort of income, because you either just left school, just starting a job. So when I left school, I was bringing home £30 a week, do you know what I mean? You had to get your clothes any way you could, but if you know what I mean. But yeah, so I've always been one, I couldn't give a monkeys if people don't like what I've got. I wear what I like. I don't follow fashion. I think you've either got style or you haven't. I'm not saying I'm a style icon, but I think fashion comes and goes, style stays. That is the way I see it. And I'm not saying I'm different to anybody else that I know. Everyone I know, we all sort of dress, not exactly the same, we're all soldiers, but we all sort of shop in the same shops. We all look for the same sort of gems. We all sort of like look for. I mean, I'm a member of loads of like WhatsApp groups of different cliques of mates, and they'll go, "Have you seen this jacket? Seen it?" So we all sort of got the same interest. It's like-minded, isn't it? It's like-minded and an interest, whether that be clothing or shoes. I think. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and again, I know, you know, looking at it just from a, you know, outside view, if you're not someone who's into, and I won't use the word fashion because, you know, we've agreed that, you know, fashion is, I guess that's what's the latest and stuff, but, you know, style, you know, looking from the outside, it might seem kind of crazy to some people that, oh, you know, I see some people in my comments saying, oh, you know, look at the state of you lot cosplaying and, you know, dressing up and stuff, and, you know, again, like you said, you don't really care what other people think. Like, what are your thoughts on people who, I guess, outside who don't understand? I know we are a peculiar bunch. I mean, like, what are your thoughts on, you know, how we must seem to the outsiders? I know, I don't mean in a serious note, looking at us in the mirror and going, actually, yeah, we are a bit peculiar. Like,
I don't know really. I think it's our generation. I think it's our generation, like the kids of today. I mean, two of my sons probably dress a little bit like me. The other two don't. Two of my boys are into like Prada and all that sort of stuff. I'm not. I couldn't be further from it. If someone said to me it's a pair of Prada, I probably wouldn't wear them. Do you know what I mean? It's not my thing. I'd sooner have 5 pair of Adidas than I would 1 pair of Prada. Do you know what I mean? Or Kenzo, all that. Good luck to anyone who wears it, and I would never slate anyone who wears it. That's your choice to wear it. You paid for it. I didn't pay for it. But I suppose people who don't know, but it's quite an hard question because everyone that I know who are class as mates, because I know a lot of people. I'm quite lucky to know a lot of people, and I've got Adidas mates that I've met through Adidas. I've got work mates, I've got close mates, I've got mates that I've grown up with all my life. I've got mates that you probably got half a dozen mates that probably know all your secrets. You know, I'm no different to anybody else. You know, but do other people that don't get it? I don't know anyone who don't get it, because if they didn't get it, we wouldn't be in the same spectrum. Do you know what I mean? I mean, sometimes someone at work or someone will go, "Oh, I see you on Facebook, see the thing, Bob. That's a mad pair of trainers you got." And I think, well, they're only Gazelle. There's nothing. You want to see some of the other shit ones I've got. Do you know what I mean? Or the other mental ones I've got. That's nothing. But I hear what you're saying, and I respect it and I get it. But yeah, there is people that slag you off, but fuck them, I couldn't give a monkeys. Do you know what I mean? Because they're not slagging me off, they're slagging the whole community.
Yeah.
If you want to, what they're slagging you off for? Because you look half decent and they probably look a twat. I couldn't give a fuck, mate.
No, and I feel it's just, I always find it, I like hearing the, you know, because I've got friends, you know, I remember when I first started queuing back in the day, you know, and they're like, "You're doing what?" Like, I'm queuing up, they're like, "Queuing up for trainers." Blew their mind until they realised years later. Like, I remember my friend said to me, he was like, "Oh shit, we could have been making." I was like, "I've been telling you guys, like, I was queuing up for me, but you guys could have queued up. You know, you could have sold some trainers, and you know, and we could have maybe started a business. We might have been one of the big resellers, you know, but they never did take on board." But again, I think it's, you know, it is a peculiar thing, you know, queuing up for clothes, or, you know, like, but I think what it is, it goes back to what I was talking about earlier. So it's less about we're queuing up, it's more about that sort of that tribal unity, and people with similar mindsets, you've got similar interests, and you just happen to be in the same place at one time. You know, if it was a Star Wars convention, you'll see 50 Luke Skywalkers and 50s Darth.
I mean, to be fair, I've gone to places like that before and I haven't even got anything. I've gone there to see me mates, see me Adidas mates, see for the vibe. And it's the only time that you could be in a room with, whether that be 10 people or 500 people, and you all like the same thing. You're all there for the same thing, innit? It's like going to football. If you're sport Brentford, you're not going to go to Brentford and start talking about Atkins and Stanley, are you? You're going to talk about Brentford. Do you know? Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? That was to all my Scouse mates. But yeah. So I mean, I get it. But I'll tell you a funny story. Where I worked before, this fella, we always camaraderie, it was always banter. He always say to me, "Oh, you take the mick out of what I wore." Do you know what I mean? Ain't it in a good way? And I say, "You have got no right Go and look at yourself in the fucking mirror. You got no right to even talk to me about what I wear. Anyway, he took a couple of days off, and I said, "Oh, were you away?" He went, "No." He said, "A new PlayStation game come out that he went and queued up 2 days for. Got the game and spent all weekend playing with it." I said, "Get out, go and get in the seat. Don't fucking talk to me about my trainers or my clothes ever again." Do you know what I mean? And he couldn't get it, and I couldn't get it because I'm at the age where I didn't really, bloody hell, the only game that I had in the way of anything to do with computer when I was a kid was a game called Blip. Do you remember that? With the two things that square, with the little square ball, like tennis.
I remember that.
That was a height, and you stood, spent all your money standing at Space Invaders or Asteroids machine. That was it. That was the only computer games we had growing up. But different strokes for different folks, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
And just sort of building on it, so obviously you're seeing your boys growing up, you know, and your children growing up, and have they, although they might be into differential things, you know, more high-end fashion now, which the youth are into, you know, they either love their streetwear or their high-end fashion, you know, and otherwise they're kind of, you know, those are the main tribes, it seems. Streetwear, high-end fashion. Have they picked up anything from you, whether it be, you know, maybe the caps or maybe bags or shoes, jackets? It's normally jackets where I find everyone starts with this.
To be honest with you, no. Two of them used to dress a little bit like me, and one of them used to go down a special route. But he does his own thing now. He's got his own little. They've all got their own sort of style. Yeah. Like my daughter couldn't give a monkey's toss, which I love about her. Yeah. She wouldn't give a monkey's toss when she wears what she's comfortable in. So I mean, she doesn't worry about all that. And to be fair, my boys do as well. I mean, don't get me wrong. As I say, two of them will buy special, but they buy Nike as well. They buy whatever. And one of my boys loves his Carhartt, you know. But the other boy wouldn't think twice. When we were in Ibiza, he had some Prada shoes on. What else did he have on? Montclair shorts on. And like, I mean, good luck to them. They all work their nuts off. They've all got good jobs. They all earn a pound note. Do you know what I mean? They don't get it from me. They earn a lot more money than what I do. So if they want to spend their money on that, the way I see it, if my grandkids have got food on the table and they can do that, brilliant. Good luck to them. Do you know what I mean? Agreed. Totally agree with them. Agreed. But they've all got their own sort of style, and none of them. I mean, as I say, a couple of them probably go down the special route, but the other two don't. The others they do Prada, or as I say, I call them dodgy shoes. But good luck to anyone who wears them. I'm not knocking you. Do you know what I mean? Fair play to what you want to wear what you want.
So you're an enthusiast, Adidas enthusiast. It started from when you were young. I remember you saying that you bought your first pair of Gazelles, which were lime green. And then over the years, so like, you know, I see that you've got this sort of leather bag here, beautiful bag. Do you buy things, you know, sort of that go along? You know, are you a coaster kind of guy? Are you sort of the bags? Do you buy, you know, little books, magazines?
I do love a book.
Pins?
Yeah, I do love a book. When I had my scooter, I had loads of pin badges, loads, a whole arm. But then I got rid of the scooter and got rid of the badges. But I still kept my Adidas one, and I'm lucky enough that people send me badges. People send me stuff. I'm not an enthusiast. I don't get paid to do anything. People might send me the odd t-shirt or tracksuit top or jumper, or now and again I might get a pair of trainers or whatever. But it's not. I'm not a paid enthusiast. I'm not a paid, what they call it, influencer. I'm not an influencer. Bloody hell. I mean, if you like what I wear, good luck to you, do you know what I mean? But I'm still pleased that at 58 people still think that I dress alright. But it's only the people that are in the know. Not in my know, but as I say, in that community who wear it anyway, do you know what I mean? I mean, I've never gone out and someone gone, what the fuck you got on, do you know? But I went out last night, I had the Capici stripy top on. And from the station in Camden till we got to the place, I was walking with my missus, two people stopped me and went, nice top, mate. Like, and it does make you feel fair play. I mean, the way I see it don't cost you nothing to be nice. I'm nice to everyone until I can't be nice anymore. That's it, you know, it's just, it is what it is. But I forgot the fucking question. What was the question?
The question.
Bags, wasn't it? Sorry.
Yeah, bags. However, the conversation flows so beautifully, so it doesn't matter. Just general, like, are you picking up the accoutrements, the addition bits, you know, the bags, the pins, you know, are you that in that?
So the way I do it, I collected all the bags. The only bag I haven't got is the very first one. Probably because I was probably a bit polo when that came out. But, because you can't get everything. But I have got all the bags. The simple reason is I know that if I ever skint one day, I can get my money back on them. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Not that I don't mean skint as in like I can't live. I mean like if I couldn't live or pay a bill, what's the point of having that? You'd get rid of it, pay your bill.
We know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean? Sure, but yeah, I mean I love the bags. I mean I don't get the one that's just come out. I took to IB for that great big one. It worked a dream. The only bad thing I'd say about it, because I put all my weekend stuff in, it hasn't got a strap. Yes. So my arm's bloody killing me. And when you've got a strap, you've got both your hands free. So I had passport in one hand, phone in the other, and a bag, and I got. So it could have done with a strap, but it's ideal. It's nice. You don't realise how much you can get in that bag, and it fits perfectly in the hold, in the plane above your head. So it's perfect size for that. But these are nice little weekend bags, and it's ideal. So I've got that black one as well, because that takes me back to like. I don't know whether they copied it for that, but it's a bag back in the day called a Peter Black. Which is the Adidas bag that I had for school. I used to have that. It's exactly the same bag as that, so it just said Adidas. That was it, and I think they're called Peter Blacks. Do you know what I mean? But it's but yeah, I like that. It's got not that I'm from the north, but it's got all the Northern Soul badges on it and that. Do you know what I mean? You know. But there was a bit of about this. They were. I do believe that they weren't going to release it. I was lucky. I got it. And then I think they were going to stop it because it was round about the time for Black Lives Matter, and because of this fist, I think they were going to pull it. But in the end, they said no, which was good, really. It don't really matter, do you know what I mean? I can give a monkey what colour you are. If you're right with me, I'm right with you. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly, for sure.
But yeah, so it's a nice night. It was handy today. Fits 5 pairs, one of each trainer in nicely. That
perfectly.
Like a glove.
So when you talk about dressing up. So how do you start? Do you start from the shoes upwards?
I always do. If I walk down, I look at someone's shoes first. Perhaps that's ignorant.
Same. I
always look at shoes first. I think you can tell a lot about someone's shoes. Do you know what I mean? I mean, at the end of the day, I always think I'm going to wear those shoes. Then I think that goes with that jacket. I'm not really a t-shirt or jeans sort of person. I am. I'm not saying I walk about naked under a jacket, but I don't go out. The main thing I concentrate on is trainers and top, and then everything else falls into place. Do you know what I mean?
So, are you a sock man? And what I mean by socks is not do you wear socks? Of course you wear socks, but are you? So tell me your sock routine. So you're wearing trousers,
right? Today I've got no show socks on with trousers, which is a zero tie. I never do that. The only reason I've done it today is because I got up and I put shorts on. I had shorts to wear. Yeah. But then because of the weather situation, I thought it was gonna piss down and rain. So I run back in. I was turning the car around and put my chinos on. But normally, if I've got shoes or 9 out of 10 times trainers with long trousers or jeans or whatever, it has to be a sock. I can't have that trouser flapping around my ankle with no sock on. But my sock of choice, I've got the dressy socks like the Burlingtons and the all that sort of stuff. Do you know what I mean? The Gants and that. But my main sock of choice is an old school FC sock, which is Cass Pennant's brand. He does 3 socks. He does a grey, a black, and a blue. I don't do white socks because I'm not 5. I don't do white socks. I can't do white socks. Never do I do white socks. Yeah, no, and I'm also not Michael Jackson. I don't do white socks. So, so basically, it's just grey, black or blue really, do you know what I mean? But as I say, he does a pack. You know, like the special ones come out. I've got a few pair of them, like that sort of toweling, well, are they toweling, they sports sock? They're my sock of choice really, would be an old school FC.
And you don't do a white sock ever, even if you're wearing trainers?
No. Only no show one. I've got white no show, yeah.
So trainers is always no show?
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
I
know
normally
because you're wearing trousers, then obviously you're wearing a long sock, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and if I'm wearing like a suit, or whatever for work or whatever, I would wear probably, if I've got a blue suit on, I'd wear a blue sock. Do you know what I mean? And I wouldn't wear, you see people that got brown shoes on, black socks and blue trousers, I think what's that all about?
Okay, so that makes sense. I guess we're talking about socks, we're talking about shoes. So shoes, we go back to shoes. So obviously you're building up a nice collection. You've built up a nice collection. Do you ever look around and go, "Fucking hell, I've got too many shoes"?
Well, what shoes or trainers?
Sorry, trainers.
Right.
Trainers.
The thing was when we had like a walk-in cupboard, which was, you could probably walk in, turn around and come out again. It weren't nothing major. And I shelved it all out and had our trainers there, because I say my missus got a few pair as well. And then for years we'd spoke about changing the loft and doing something in the loft, because if you go up in your loft, 9 out of 10 people go in the loft, there's probably 90% of shit up there that you don't want, because if you wanted it, it wouldn't be in the loft, would it? Right? So we spoke about it for a couple of years, and eventually, about when was it? When COVID about? When
2019.
Yeah. A few years ago, we were furloughed, and I said to my missus, "Now's the only shop that was open in queue." Right, wasn't it? That was it.
Yeah.
So I said to her, I was furloughed for about 3 weeks. I think she was for about 3 months, if I remember. So I said, it's that red hot summer, and after a week of sitting in the sun, it does get a bit boring. There's nothing else to do, and because I'm hyperactive, I'm 100 miles an hour, I said, let's clear the loft. So we took everything out of the loft to put it in the garden. Took us all day, right? And then it was getting quite late, so we're going to have to do it. We can't leave it out here. And I reckon we threw 80% of shit away that was in that loft. Stuff that you don't need, you think, I'll keep that and put it in the loft. Some things, there weren't one of them, there's 4 of them. I think, why have we got that? We don't need it, do you know what I mean? It's rubbish. Yeah. So we threw it away. Obviously we kept photographs and all the stuff that you would, sentimental stuff. But everything, old bits of furniture, you change the table, I put that on the loft. Why? Just throw it away.
Yeah.
So we threw it away, and then we had this space. Well, my nephew's a chippy, so I said to him, look, I want to do the loft. Would you come round and redo the floor? So he redid the floor for me. Not massively, just the centre part of it. So he did. He come with my sons. 2 of my sons are roofers. I didn't want no structural change to the building. I wanted it as cheap as possible. Yeah. So he did that. Then I found another matey up the road who just come and I got him to block both ends of the loft because it's brick. So I didn't want it brick. So he blocked both ends. And then I said to my missus, we could do the rest. We got 3 weeks. So we went and bought a load of ton and groove the whole lot. Believe it or not, I thought we'd have loads of arguments, but we'd done it really well with no arguments.
Teamwork.
Yeah, and then we painted it all white, because white obviously makes things look bigger. And then I said, well, it was her idea. She said, you should put AstroTurf on the floor. And I went, okay. Then she wanted to go one step further. She said, you should do a foot pitch. I said, can't have a foot pitch up here, it looks stupid, do you know what I mean? So it's got the green AstroTurf and the trainers down. I've done it so I couldn't tell you how many pairs there are, but it's getting to the point now where both sides are full, and we're starting to come out a bit. And I was going through, especially when I was looking for your trainers, I was going to go through and go, there's about 10 pair I could probably get rid of, and I thought, no, I'll wait until I get a day, because I think that tomorrow I think I don't want to get rid of them, then I end up putting them back. So I'd wait. If the day ever come when I was skint and I couldn't eat, then I'd sell the pairs I don't wear. Do you know what I mean? Which there ain't that many. Because I try and rotate them, but then the problem is you rotate them and then something new comes out, and then you wear that one, didn't you, for a couple of times, and that goes back, so I try and wear, my missus wears all of hers, not all at once, but she does wear them, I mean, obviously, and see, I work 60 hours a week. I'm out of the house 60 hours a week. So I don't wear shoes or boots to work. So I can only really wear trainers if we're ever out a weeknight, school night, which is very rare. Do you know what I mean? It's normally the weekends you're out. And you don't want to be seen in the same pair of trainers. I don't want to be seen and give them monkeys if I'm seen in it, but for me, psychologically, I don't want to be the same.
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm the same, and especially if I'm going to see the same set of people, especially and again, as much as it's a treat for me, it's also a treat for you you know, because we all like shows like, oh,
exactly,
that's different. Oh yeah.
And see, the other thing is as well, people take piss sometimes, and I take a lot of photographs, but I couldn't give a fuck. The way I see it, growing up, there's hardly any photographs of me. There was, but my mum died when I was 13, so family members took the photographs. I was only a kid, I didn't care, so I didn't really have many photographs then. And then you with different girls, and you get married, and then obviously my ex-wife's got loads of photographs of me growing up because I'm with the kids. So fair play, she's got them. So really and truly, since camera phones have come out, then I take photographs, and I think you're just making memories all the time. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
And I just keep. It's nothing to do with I've got to get a photograph on Instagram. It's nothing to do with that. The reason I put them on Instagram and Facebook, because you've always got them. You lose your phone, you got them on there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I use that as like
it's like
as my picture book. And if people don't like my photographs, go past. You don't have to look.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, the point of people not liking things, and you know.
Well, not lying. I mean, I couldn't give a
I'm sure there are plenty of people who go on your page and go, oh my god, he thinks he's the dogs, you know, because he's got a lot of Adidas and those people. Do you know why? Because there's always people who gravitate to people who, you know, who obviously are known and stuff, but they gravitate to them just so they can denigrate them, you know, whether it's music, whether it's fashion, whether it's, you know, even in work, just normal day-to-day work, there's people whose life is about, that person seems to be doing all right, or that person's got something I don't have, therefore I'm just going to say something. And again, as we was talking about earlier, the fact that now everyone can just type a comment somewhere makes it even, but again, you know, we don't give a damn. Yeah, we don't care. We understand there's people like this and we recognise, but
I'm too busy taking photographs.
That's what I mean. That's the thing. We're too busy living life that you're complaining about for us to go. Not that I've seen, you know, like, you know, I do a YouTube channel. I've had people go, oh, why don't you fix your teeth? You know, spending money on things. And I said, funny enough that you say that. I was actually about to get my teeth because, you know, my teeth, I got goofy teeth. I was going to get, so I got Invisalign. I was going to do it anyway. So I replied to the person, I was like, funny enough, I was actually going to do that, but how sad is it that you felt the need to? So I didn't even respond angrily. I responded sort of like, oh, you know, to basically make them look.
Someone messaged me once.
It's like, really?
I'll tell you what was funny, right? No one's ever given me anything. I've got, by the way. Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean, right? Never. So, through Adidas, through me collecting bits and pieces and joining groups on Facebook and making friends through that, and then being asked to be a moderator on the Annex, I've built up a lot of friendships. So you get asked places. All of a sudden, those places you might meet so-called celebrities. And I'm lucky enough to meet a few of them. And some of them follow me, and I talk to them. I was asked to be in, I'd never dreamed. I was asked to be in that Stone Island video.
I was going to segue, so perfect. Yes.
Do you know what I mean? I would never have, I didn't ring up and say, please, do you know what I mean? They said to me, would you mind being in Stone? And I went, that's nice of them. Now, I have been asked, I know a couple of bands, I'll get on to that in a minute, but, you know, they said to me, would you be in this video? And I said, do you really want me in the video? And they said, well, yeah. I went, okay. Well, then about a month after, I said, who else in the video? They went, Bez. People like that. I thought, how honour's that? I'm in the video. Do you know what I mean? And I've got some Stone Island. I can't afford to get all Stone Island. I'm more Adidas and CP than I am Stone Island. I've got a couple of bits, but I love the brand. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, they asked me to be in the video, and I was. So fair play. The same years and years ago, me and Fenner started talking, right? And we built up a good friend. I class him as a mate now, and I presume he classes me as a mate. We talk now and again. But I used to be invited on to Soccer AM, and I used to go on there all the time and meet bands. And he'd say to me, so-and-so's on this week, do you want to come down? I'd go, yeah. Or I'd ring him and go, I've heard that's all right. Do you know what I mean? And I used to go on there all the time. Then people would go on my page and slag it off. But then private message me saying, can you get me on there? I go, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute, you were slagging it off last week. Yeah. Jog on. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And then the other thing is as well, that does tickle me, that does, when people say something, and I'll tell you an instance, someone said to me the other week, how can you call yourself an original casual? No, but beg your pardon, their word was, how at 30 can you call yourself an original casual? I said, hold on a minute. You saying I look 30? Because if you're, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I said, I'm 58. I am an original casual, if that's what you want to call it. You want to be pedantic, do you know what I mean? I said, but I'll take that all day long. I know from instance. I just think, like, grow up.
That's the thing, but and part of the problem is, we won't spend lots on negativity because not all.
Yeah, I don't do negative. I don't mix with negativity, and I don't fucking can't be arsed with it.
Exactly, but part of the problem with that is, and I wrote this down the other day, like, everyone's got an opinion without having the information. So you might read, for example, I might say, oh, fucking hell, Liam Gallagher, right? Fucking hell, Liam Gallagher. And then people go, oh, what are you saying about Liam? For example, this is a random But then my next line might be, why are you so amazing? For example. So people have not even bothered to read or find out the whole of, they've just gone, oh, and then they've basically been reactionary to that. They've not really checked whether you're, 30 years old or not 30. They've just gone, ooh, he looks young, how can he be, oh, boom, boom, boom. And then when you've caught it's like, oh, it's too late to, and that's the funny thing, and it's just like, I don't mind you having an opinion, but at least have a bit of fact behind it.
Yeah, I've got no problem saying to me, look, at the end of the day, the way I see it, no one buys my clothes. I wear what I want, how I want it. I don't really care. I know my mates and people I know, fair play, do you know what I mean, at the end of the day. But it does make me laugh. And I've seen people get slated on Instagram and Facebook, proper slated, and I think, you don't even know that fella. How do you know what he's going through? Do you know what I mean? That might be his only source of fucking...
release.
Do you know what I mean? A release. At the end of the day, there's certain things I see people in think, I would not wear that.
Same. But
I wouldn't
say anything.
I don't need to say
it's
got
nothing to do with me.
I haven't bought it for him, he's bought it himself.
I've not given you money and said, go buy an outfit, that's what you bought, and then I'm like, oh... Because then I might, but even then, if I've given you the money and say go buy an outfit, the moment I gave you the money,
it's your prerogative.
I relinquished.
I know.
Then,
So, but I think in all walks of life, do you know what I mean? In all walks of life, there's always going to be someone. But I do try not to mix with, not mix. That's the wrong word because there's all sorts. Yeah. But I mean, I try and avoid negativity and bollocks. Do you know what I mean? Because I just can't.
Yeah.
Life's too short. As I say, I had that op.
Yeah.
And I nearly snuffed it twice. When you've been in that, how can I put it? When you've been in that situation, how can I say about sounding cheesy?
Differently.
Yeah. You see things in a different perspective. Do you know what I mean? Like for me, I say to my missus all the time, do you want us to sit in here, not go out? And we buy a new 3-piece suite and sit on this new 3-piece suite. Yeah. After a month, it's not a new 3-piece suite, is it? But do you want me to show a photograph what we've done the last month? Because the only thing you take with you when you go is your memories, nothing else, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? And I would sooner. People probably see me out all the time, but I think people think I just sit indoors like that, waiting for the next invitation. And I probably do turn away more than what I do because I can't fucking do everything. But I'd sooner go out. And I've got to know a lot of people only through Adidas. And when I say Adidas, I don't mean Adidas as in the German Adidas. I'm on about the Adidas community or the clothing community. I do got to know loads of people, and I do. We go on meets. Do you know what I mean? We went with the 80s Casuals. We went up with Neil Primmett's shop, the 80s Casuals. We went up to a meet the other week in Derby, all like-minded people on the casual side, like your Feelings, your Chini and Lacoste and that. And then through Neil, fair play to Neil if you're watching, he got me, he put me onto this person contacted me, we had a bit of a chat, and just jokingly, we started talking about the film he was in, and it turns out he was in the new Marching Powder film, and he said to me, do you want to come down? I went, I'm sorry? He said, do you want to come down? So I said, yeah, I'll come down. So I went down and done a day's filming on the Marching Powder film with Danny Dyer. Met Danny Dyer and the rest of it,
Excellent.
Which I don't think it's out to the end of the year, maybe next year. Now, I filmed all day long. I can't say too much about the film, but I filmed all day long. If I'm in it, I'm probably in it 15 seconds.
That's the thing, you filmed all day long.
Yeah.
Probably they're gonna give you like a cut. You're like, what? Where's my scene?
Yeah, I didn't speak enough. I was just an extra. I was a hooligan, right? And then a bit bizarre. They wanted me to be a hooligan, but anyway, dark past, you know what I mean? And then And then I was called back 2 weeks later and said, did I want to go back again as a different firm? And I said, okay. So I did 2 days there, met a load of people. Admittedly, 95% of them Millwall, which was quite bizarre. Do you know what I mean? I'm not bothered about little old Brentford, do you know what I mean? But I met some nice people and I'm still in contact with a few of them, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, that was good. I'm hoping to get an invite, or when it comes out, when the premiere comes out, it'd be nice to get an invite to that. Same with all the special invites, you know. People think you're a VIP, but you're not a fucking VIP. Yeah. Because I've been, apart from one, I've been to every single one. No one's paid for me to go. I've got my own way there, booked my own hotel, used my own money. No one's gone, there you are, and there's one of every pair of trainers. It don't work like that. You know that. I know that. Bloody hell, you'd love that, wouldn't you? You know, you're doing it because it's your hobby.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to, if that was the case, you wouldn't have to do nothing, mate. You know?
Some people do drugs, good luck to you. Some people smoke, some people, I don't know.
Drink every day.
Drink. Yeah. Some people buy a load of other old rubbish, you know what I mean?
Buy Pokemon cards, you know?
Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. I mean, there's a fella I know, he spends thousands of pounds, he collects models. Do you know what I mean? All like superhero models. Good luck to him. If that makes you happy, who am I to tell you that isn't right? Same as someone saying to me, well, you shouldn't be doing that. Okay, well, what do you want to do? You tell me what you want me to do. I'll do what I want to do. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, and I'm quite lucky that my missus is like-minded like that as well. She's not really, she gets the ump a little bit because she's the one that takes the photographs. You know what I mean? But and I'll say, come and get in it, she goes, no, I don't want to be in it, don't want to be in it. And then now and again she goes, I can't believe you put that on Facebook or whatever, do you know what I mean, or Instagram. I go, well, it's a nice photo of you.
Segueing on from, you mentioned it earlier, you're in the Chris and Reese video for their single called Stone Island. Yeah. Now the video is super dope. I love the Last Supper theme. Yeah. You know, Bez, who you mentioned was in it, he is playing the character of Judas. The rest of you are all disciples.
Yeah, I mean, it was, when they said to me, oh, Brian McClare from Man United's in it, I went, what? Okay. And then Gail Porter, I met Gail Porter, she was lovely. Who else was in it? Mikey Porter from Smooth and Terrell, who I knew anyway. Then you got Walt Scott, in it, yeah. Which I knew anyway. Mark Wilson I knew anyway, and obviously the Taliban lads, you know, all smashing lads, you know what I mean? But we had a right laugh, and we were in Stirling for 2 or 3 days in Scotland. It was a right laugh. It was good. The place we stayed in was some 14th century mansion, and it was fucking haunted. And me and Mike shared a room. And I think I wouldn't go to sleep until it's just we had such a laugh. But we were video because the first night, I don't care what anyone says, we were both laying in bed about 3 in the morning trying to get asleep, and the cupboard door just went, yeah. We shit ourselves. And you had that eerie feeling. It was massive, this place. You had this eerie feeling that when you walked about, there was someone walking behind you all the time. It was horrible. It was bloody horrible, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
But then I found out the next day, they said to me, we were talking about, we shouldn't have said anything. But me and Mike the next morning said, that bloody room, there's something definitely going on in that room. They go, really? I go, yeah, no, there's definitely, well, of course the next night, about 4 in the morning, they're up there and they scratching the wall, turning the, you know, and they're messing about with our brains, you know what I mean?
Of course.
But then I know for a fact what we in both experienced the first night, and no one did nothing then, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, we would have brunt. It was a good.
Yeah.
You know, Bez, lovely fella. Got to know him. We've exchanged numbers. We text now and again. I'd done both his shows on his guest list. He didn't have to do that for me.
Nice,
I'm a nobody to him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But nice. Slight-minded, you know, because he loves all his Adidas and that,
course,
especially on that as well, do you know.
And what jacket did you wear in that?
I had.
You had a couple pieces.
I had a Dave Teller.
Yeah.
I had a like a stone grey, I think it's called, Dave Teller. Then I had, what else did I have? I can't remember what jackets I had. I had 3 jackets. Only 2 of them were mine. One of them, the other mate, he said, I said, that's a really nice jacket. He said, I'll wear that one. So I wore that one for one of the shoots. But I mean, like Wild Scott and that, it turned up.
No, of course.
The lorry load.
Well,
Do you know
I don't
what I
know
mean?
him personally, but I know the collection.
Smashing
crazy.
fella.
Yeah, of course.
Smashing fella. Always. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have a laugh.
So, and I guess on the day, so how did it happen? Was people just laying out the jackets on a big table?
No, on the day.
People just come in and go, oh, that's nice.
No, we got there one day.
That's nice.
We got there one day. We all picked up from. We had to fly to Edinburgh, so people come all over the place. We flew to Edinburgh. Well, I flew to Edinburgh. Met the others. They picked me up. So it was me, Mikey, Wall, and Mark Wilson. We all went together. We picked up the airport and taken Stirling, this place I say, the stately home. And then the first night is just a drink and get to know everyone. Then the next morning, 9 o'clock sharp, we filmed all day. They done us a few scenes with all of us together, and then scenes of us, like close-ups of all our faces, individual. And Tandine Burnley played Jesus. Another smash. I didn't know too much about him, but he's
Me neither, but he's very he's magnetic on camera.
Yeah. They done him well. He played the part well. He was Jesus, obviously, and he's a famous Scottish actor, and the Scottish hold him in a light. Same as Chocky, you know, like Brian McClare. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I went there, I thought, apart from Mikey Wall and Mark Wilson, I didn't really know the others on a personal level as well as I did the others. Do you know what I mean? I mean, we'd been to concerts together, me and Mike, and I'd been to their concerts quite a few times. Me and my missus had been around Wall's house, I knew Mark. So, I mean, we all knew one another. But the others, I thought, bloody hell, they're celebrities. I'm not a celebrity, they're celebrities. Didn't matter, we had a right laugh with all of them.
Nice.
Gail Porter, funny as anything. I had a wig on at one point.
I love that.
I had a picture of me in her wig. It was a great laugh. And then me and my missus were booked to go and see a couple of her shows. But
what kind of shows does she do?
She does a stand-up one, and she does a supernatural one as well.
Oh.
So we were going to go to see her shows, but both the shows got cancelled by the venues for some reason. So I have messaged her saying, like, let me know when she's in town, sort of thing, and we're whiz and see her. Do you know what I mean?
Nice.
But yeah, so it was an experience. You know what I mean?
Best dress set this year, I'm sure.
Mate, honestly, there was a few bobs flying about there. Do you know? We'd been burgled that night, or ransacked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Jesus.
But, that's probably why they done a stately home in the miles of nowhere, so you can see the enemy approaching.
Yeah, exactly.
Round the moat.
Yeah,
but
really, it's actually, I wrote a comment under there. I think, I said it's a video that will be studied by fashion students for years to come. For the simple variety of jackets, and there's people in there that now if you watch that video, you might not know who anyone is in there, but if you start now looking, and again, if you're a fashion student, for example, totally off piece, but if you're a fashion student, you start looking at people and finding that, for example, if they come across you, they find out that you're an Adidas enthusiast, you've got quite a lot of pairs and stuff, you come across Wall, they find out, he's a sneaker, I don't use the word sneaker, trainer enthusiast, clothes.
Yeah, I hate that word.
So, I'm not American, so it's slightly irritating. Trainers always, and so on and so forth. So I think, and plus just the video, the jackets on show is beautiful. But then you've also got the track, which is actually banging. Not my usual,
I mean, it's not my
usual,
thing.
but I'm not gonna lie, I've played it back to back to back to
But
back.
there's 4 tracks.
Okay.
There's 4 tracks on that EP.
Okay.
And
it's an EP.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think you get 2 on one side, 2 on the other.
I need to pick it up then.
But you need to get hold of Thingy Bob, pick it up, get hold of Crystal Reese. There's 4 tracks on there, and they got I think an instrumental one, a dancing one, that one, the main one, and then there's another one where, I can't remember, but all 4. But that's the sort of song you got to have. The sort of record you got to have blaring in your motor. You can't half listen. It's,
definitely. But I feel it's just one of those ones that actually, again, it's not my style, but it's not. I thought it was going to be really sort of industrially kind of, sort of German, Kraftwerky. I didn't know what to expect. When I first opened the opening, but as you go, it's actually got a groove to it. Subtle grooves to it. So I think that video, just again, like I said, beautifully shot. Obviously, great faces in the video. Everyone's face is really good for the camera. Do you know what I mean? You guys look really good on the camera. I was honoured to be asked, mate. I mean, I thought there's a million people you could ask, you know what I mean? But I was honoured to be asked. Same when I got a message from Cass. He said, would you want to do some modelling for me? I'm sorry. It's excuse me? What?
I'm sorry, model. Stone, you got Love Island. They're all just leaving in a couple of weeks. You want asking them? You want some fat bald bloke? Do you know what I mean? About 90. You no, but you're the original. You're original. So me and another fella, who's become a friend as well. We went up to. It was quite bizarre, really. We went up to Wardour Street and met Kaz, and I knew Kaz anyway through other bits, but we went up to Wardour Street and Kaz had a photographer flown over that he knew, who I've become friends with as well, Pierre, right? And we're in the middle of Wardour Street, this calf, being taking photographs, like we kept changing our tops and whatever, and this cameraman's in the road and the traffic stopping, they're probably thinking, who's he photographer? They're like looking around me, they're like that, thinking, who's this fat fucker? Do you know what I mean? But it was looking for someone. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that was good. Yeah, so yeah, that was funny. That was a good day. Good day. That was a good laugh.
Cool. So obviously, again, you know, all these opportunities, I guess, have sort of coming around, and again, you meet people. Part of the thing of, you know, when people walk past, you know, and say, oh, what are you guys waiting for, queuing up for, people say shoes or maybe jackets. People go, shoes, jackets, but what they don't take into account is, my segue will make sense in a minute, is the camaraderie and the relationships
exactly.
built.
We like-minded, isn't it?
Yeah, which segues to my thing, you know, and that like-mindedness and camaraderie and friendship is, you know, sort of open certain doors and allowed you know, you're being, you know, asked to model for this, and you're being asked to be in this video. And again, you're not saying like, oh, I've been asked to model. I mean, it's just that people know, same way, like, again, I reached out to you literally because I think you said, oh yeah, is that the show? And I was like, oh yeah, would you be interested? I hadn't even seen your page at this time. I just reached because your energy was good when we just had a quick brief conversation, and then I asked, and then when I saw your page, I was like, oh shit, will he actually have the time? Because, you know, obviously, you know, he's quite busy, but, you know.
But we have met, I've seen you.
No, that's what I mean, we've met, but, you know, but we've never really had a, so, you know, really it's a stranger asking you, you know, so you could easily have gone, oh, you know, I don't really, you know, so, again, that was how this happened. You've not said to me, oh, I know you're doing a YouTube, oh, put me on, do you know what I mean? It doesn't happen like that. No, of course, but you wouldn't, it doesn't happen like that. I've reached out to you, and the exact same way I've reached out to you, people have reached out to you in the exact same way. So,
I mean, I've done a couple. I've done one a little while ago with Joe Skinner. He's the fella. I've done his. A few people have done his.
Yeah, is it a podcast? He
done it.
And is it video as well? Or
it's on YouTube now. It's been out about a month. It's got quite a few. We spoke yesterday.
The one, I think it's the one you shared. Oh yeah, I think.
Yeah, I think we spoke about. We spoke yesterday, and I said, I do. I didn't realise that many people want to watch it.
Okay, I'll have a look. I'll share it here because you're on it. You know.
But yeah, so I mean, I was quite surprised people want to listen to me rabbiting. But yeah, and Joe's change subject. You know, we said earlier about trainers. It winds me up when people call them sneakers.
Yeah, go on.
And Joe else winds me up when people call Nike. You don't
oh my God, thank you.
Fuck off in the sea.
Thank you.
And
I know, and here's the argument I'm going to say.
You would not go, I've got a bikie, I'm going to take a hikey in my Nike. Do you know what I mean?
No, I know. Here's the thing though. They're going to say, and I get it, and the argument stands. I'm going to say, it's a valid argument. It's an American company, and they call it Nike.
Yeah.
Okay, 100% correct.
Yeah.
I grew up in England, we call it Nike. Yeah. That's the end of it. It doesn't matter what you say to me. They call tomatoes. Yeah, again, you know what I mean? Yeah, I know what it's called. Yeah. I understand. But for me, how did I grow up?
I know.
And that's all it, but you know, it's like, again, people say the whole Stony. When I grew up, 93, when I was wearing designer brands in 1993 because of House and Garage and Jungle Music, we called Moschino. It's called Moschino.
Right? I've always called it Moschino.
Yeah, it's Moschino, right? But it's Moschino is the right thing. But we called it Mosh. So we broke it. Yeah. Stone Island, we called it Stony because we break everything. I know there's people going, oh, you can't call it, only 12-year-olds call it Stony. I'm 47 years old, mate. I've definitely called it Stony since
it's like I get the northern part of the country will call it Adidas.
Again, but I call it Adidas.
We call Adidas because it's southern. But at the end of the day, there's no Y on Nike, is there? It's not Nike. But you wouldn't go bikey, hikey, likey. Do you know what I mean? So I can't
Exactly.
get my head around that.
The only way I can have you calling it Nike is if you grew up in America,
Yeah.
or you've only ever known it as Nike.
Yeah.
Because then that's fine. But if you grew up
Yeah.
in Britain, more likely than not, it's been called Nike. So now, if you're calling it Nike because that's what the original.
Yeah, same with
actual
sneakers,
name
isn't it? Sneakers
Yeah,
is American,
sneakers is
just like
American.
soccer.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I
Like
know.
someone said to me, well, why do they call football, and they don't even use their I said, because the reason they call it football is because the ball's a foot long. It's nothing to do with. That's the reason they call it football.
There you go.
Because it's 1 foot long.
There you go.
There's nothing to do with that.
There
Do you know what I mean? But
see, we learn on this channel, guys. We learn on this channel.
you say that.
Yeah, we say that. We learn some things.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's dope. But yeah, I'm with you on the sneakers thing. Like, I don't mind using it in a phrase, you know, if you're trying to sort of encounter, you know, and they're saying, oh, sneakerheads. But me personally, I don't use it in everyday
But
language.
I'm going to be really hypocritical here.
Yeah.
Because I'm the moderator on the Sneaker Addict.
There
But
you
that's
go.
not my name, that's Danny's page.
But again,
Yeah.
I understand it,
Yeah.
but personally, I don't use it in day-to-day speak.
No,
Do you know what I mean?
trainers,
Again,
right.
if that's your brand, then
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
But day-to-day speak, I call them trainers. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
You know, so yeah, definitely. But okay. So just to wrap up, so I mean, what's your kind of view on how Adidas has been doing over the last year? You know, we touched on it on our earlier segment, but you know, there's a lot of good GR stuff coming out. There's a lot of, you know, nice pieces coming out, shoes, clothes. More women are getting into it. Younger people are getting into it. They're sort of gravitating towards the brand again. Like, what's your view on just how Adidas is? Because I think over the last 3 or 4 years, Adidas has sort of been clawing their way back into relevance in the sense of just across the board, not niche like casual people, but across the board. Like, we're seeing more, you know, younger people picking it back up and stuff. Like, what's your thoughts on just as a general of how you feel that Adidas is doing in general, just from your point of view? We're not saying
From my point of view,
educated, you know, but just from your point of view.
I only ever do Adidas Originals as well. I don't do anything else.
Yes.
I've probably got the odd pair of equipment.
Yeah,
but,
I'm with you as well.
But I'm only do Originals. Some of them, you look at the page, you think, who made that?
Yes. I'm
Dreadful.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But then that's something. Obviously, there's a market for someone. So especially when you look in the sales or whatever, you know, you go on the sales or whether that's Adidas or any other of the people that stock the Adidas, you think, Jesus Christ, how wrong. But that's my opinion. Do you know what I mean? But I think, and I think, to be fair, Special has kept it going quite a bit as well the last 10 years, I think. And I think the clothing shops now, they tend to use models that are a lot younger, but I think they still can't forget the older people, because without the older people it wouldn't be as big as it is. That's my opinion. I mean, it's like, I was talking to someone yesterday, it's all right you having someone who's 20, 18, 19 or 20 in an old school Fila or Ticini or whatever, is he really going to buy it? Probably not, because they're going to buy the Prada and all that sort of stuff. It's the 40 to the 70-year-olds who get it. There's 70-year-olds who don't get it. There's 6-year-olds who don't get it. That's fine. That's their style. But the ones that do, if you go to football, the chances are you will get it. Do you know what I mean? And if you're at a certain age, you'll probably get it more than the newer generation. That's nothing against them, but that niche of the market, I think, would be better. They get it more, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like the older generation. I'm not just saying it because of my age. I'm on about 40 year up. Do you know what I mean? They get it, you know, because they might see something. Their dad might have had something. Do you know what I mean? Or a mate's dad, or whoever, or a mate's older brother. Where my brother's 28 years older than me, he weren't living at home when I was born. Do you know what I mean? So he didn't really do that sort of thing. I got my, if you want to call it inspiration, probably from the football terrace, you know. And seeing older people, if you went to away matches, or, as I say, I support Brentford, so you couldn't afford to go to all the away matches, went to most of the home, but when Brentford, because of traffic control, if Brentford were away, QPR used to be at home, and when QPR were, and that's how they did the traffic control. And plus the police, they couldn't put the police boat through one. Not that there was really much trouble at Brentford, there was more at QPR. So I used to go to a lot of QPR games. So there was no Premiership then. It was like First Division, and they were in the First Division. So you see them play Liverpool's and all the rest of it, and they did dress different to us. As I've said before on podcast, we used to get, when we had wedge haircuts, you used to get called girls and everything. And I think everyone's saying about, you know what I mean? It started in the north. Perhaps it did. Good luck.
Good luck, yeah.
So, I mean, I get all the Wade Smith stuff and that, and I know Scousers, I know people, from the Wirral, I know people that Tranmere and all the rest of it, and I've known them for years and years, and they were well into it, probably before me. So I get it. It's all to do with that Europe thing when Liverpool were in the cup. Let's go there and have a little fever up and bring the stuff back. So totally get it. Do you know what I mean? But for me, Adidas, they've still got it, and they're still bringing out wicked ones. I'm not saying they're not, but I think they do. Instead of murdering one shoe, if you're going to bring a Gazelle out, don't bring out every colour that's ever been invented. Do you know what I mean? Bring out something different, change it up a little bit, but still don't lose the retro side of it. Because that's what I like about Special, because 9 out of 10 times they're not a brand new shoe. They've been taken from an idea from an older shoe, and they might have put their twist on it or changed things about, but the blueprint is from an older shoe. So that's why I do like the Special stuff. And it's hard to explain, but if you've got something on and you're special, and you got something special on, and you went, today I was going to Manchester. If I saw one other person in Special, you would acknowledge one another. It's crazy, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's crazy, It is really. It's like probably one rocker in a load of mods, and there's one other rocker. They would notice one another. Do you know what I mean? You acknowledge one another. Do you know what I mean? Fist pump or whatever it is you do. But yeah, so I do think, they've still got it.
Yeah.
I do 100% they've still got it. They'll probably see me out, to be fair.
Perfect.